Hello, I'm Will and this is Mike with the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And in this video we'll be looking at issue 82 of Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol magazine, which completes our Lord on Juggernaut to begin our World Eaters Combat Patrol. We'll be looking at the painting guide presented in this issue, and then trying him out in his first game where he has to claim as many skulls as possible for Khorne. So having a look through the issue, we've got the painting guide, starting with a reminder of the sub-assemblies that we left it with during the building. It does suggest putting some sticky tack on your models so you don't accidentally paint over the bits that are going to have glue on them. As usual, doing an all-over undercoat of Abaddon black. Then there is a lot of metal sections on the Juggernaut, which are painted in lead belcher, and all of its armour is painted with a base coat of Barrett burgundy, while the Lord has a base coat of Mephiston red for his armour, which you're going to have to do a couple of coats for to get a good coverage. Then there's lots of gold trim, which is all done in Retributor armour on both the Juggernaut and the Lord. Lead belcher on the Lord as well for parts of his weapons, and various chains and so on. Brackard flesh for the skulls on his backpack. Caliban green for his eye lenses. Abaddon black for his undersuit and weapon casings. Then Agrite's Earthshade over all of the red and gold parts on the Lord, Nuln Oil over the metal parts and the lenses, as well as the gold and silver areas on the Juggernaut, and Caribou Crimson on the burgundy sections on the Juggernaut. Then highlighting Squig Orange on the Juggernaut's armour plates, which is quite a bright highlight, so you'll have to be fairly careful to keep that neat. Stormhost Silver for all of the metal parts, Wild Rider Red for the Lord's red armour, Administratum Grey for the weapon casing, Mechanica Standard Grey for his leather parts and undersuit, Pallid Witch Flesh for the skulls, and a little bit of Auric Flesh on the eye lenses. And then he's done, so you just need to put him together and base him, so gluing the sub-assemblies together and leaving you with the finished model. Then more background on the World Eaters. So the World Eaters legionaries are all Space Marines, but unlike some others of the Chaos Legions who still retain some sense of strategy and tactical thinking, they're essentially all mindless butchers and berserkers who will just charge headlong in order to claim skulls for their dark patron. They're often followed by hordes of cultists who, being just normal humans, will often use mechanical augmentations or chemical stimulants to enhance their aggression and strength to try and be as violent as possible. And because of their great ferocity, even a small number of World Eaters legionaries are very dangerous, as they charge in with no thought to their own protection. And as mentioned, they're all followers of the blood god Khorne, who is only really interested in violence and bloodshed and bestows his blessings to those who spill the most blood in his name. And some World Eaters even go so far as to host the demons of their god in their body, enhancing their power still further. They also employ huge demon engines, which are bound with the spirits of demons of Khorne, becoming insane engines of slaughter. And to his greatest champions, Khorne sometimes gives the gift of being able to ride on a demonic Juggernaut. Then we have a short story called Relic, from the point of view of some Adeptus Mechanicus Skitarii warriors. So they have landed on a world to recover an artifact, but they're opposed by a force of Necrons who have arisen from their tomb to prevent this incursion. And the characters in the story use the larger battle as a distraction to sneak into the Necron complex and attempt to steal the item they're looking for. And although they manage to find it, the cost is heavy. But that brings us to our game content for this issue. So I'll hand you over to Mike, who will be having a look at the Lord on Juggernaut's datasheet and then taking us into his first game.
So before we carry on with issue 82, we need to go back an issue to look at the datasheet for our new Lord on Juggernaut. So he's got a 10-inch move, toughness 6, a 2+ save and a 4+ invulnerable save, 7 wounds, leadership 6+ and OC2. For his ranged weapons, he's got a plasma pistol, which works the same as every other plasma pistol. It's got 2 profiles. One is +1 strength, damage and AP, but is hazardous. Then he has 2 melee weapons, the Exalted Chain Blade, which has 7 attacks, hitting on 2, strength 6, AP -1, 2 damage. And the Juggernaut's Bladed Horn, which has the extra attacks and lance keyword, that has 4 attacks, hitting on 3, strength 6, AP -1, 2 damage. He has no other abilities other than the faction ability, which is the Blessings of Khorne, which we'll have to wait to learn about. So now we're back to issue 82, where we can play today's game, Skull Taker, where in a blind rage, the Lord on Juggernaut has ventured ahead of his main World Eaters force in search of blood and glory. So there'll be a battlefield set up on the next page. So the World Eaters player gets the Lord of Juggernaut, the opposition player gets different units depending on which stage, and the game ends when the Lord on Juggernaut is destroyed, or each enemy wave has been destroyed. So by that you might surmise that this is going to be like the Death Dread and the Dark Apostle and a couple of other scenarios where a lone character or unit has to survive against waves of enemies, and each time an opposition unit is destroyed, the Lord of Juggernaut advances to the next stage, and that will deploy the next unit, and you keep track of his score by keeping track of how many models he's destroyed. So we have the battle mats, so you can see it's actually separated into 8 stages, so it's a little bit different to those other ones where each wave of enemies arrives in their stage area, and there's only 8 stages as befits Khorne, and the Lord Juggernaut starts on the bottom left. Then there's some reminders for the extra attacks and lance keywords. So the extra attacks keyword means that the Lord on Juggernaut can attack with his melee weapon, his chain blade, and the Juggernaut's bladed horn as well, because normally our model can only attack with one melee weapon at a time. And also a reminder of lance, although it is actually incorrect here. It says here that lance gives a weapon +1 to hit when the unit charges. It's actually +1 to wound. So I'm not sure how they got that wrong, but I think it's the only time we've seen lance so far in this collection. And here we have the different stages. So each time an enemy unit is destroyed, the Lord on Juggernaut moves to the next stage and the next unit is deployed. At the end of the opposition player's movement phase, it must be in the corresponding stage area but at least 6 inches away from the Lord on Juggernaut. Stage 1 is 5 neophyte hybrids, 2 is 2 aberrants, 3 is 1 magus and 2 aberrants, 4 is 5 Cadian shock troops, 5 is the Cadian command squad, 6 is 3 Infernus Marines, 7 is 2 Terminators, and 8 is the captain in Terminator armour. And then on the back page, a tally of how many skulls he has taken. So basically each model the Lord on Juggernaut destroys counts as 1 point, and once he either kills all the opposition or dies, we'll tally up how many he's killed and see how well he did. Well, then we'll get the game set up and get straight into it. So anyway, we're set up. I won't show you the whole board because there's no terrain on it. We have the Lord on Juggernaut on the left, and we've got our 5 neophytes. I did roll randomly for which ones I got. I got the squad leader, the Weber, and 3 regular guys with firearms. A slightly better look at our Lord on Juggernaut. And it doesn't say who goes first, so we'll roll off. An auspicious start. The Lord on Juggernaut just wins the roll off, so we'll head into World Eater's turn 1.
Well, the Lord on Juggernaut's not going to waste any time. We're going to charge straight in front of those neophytes. He will shoot his plasma pistol on the way in though, he won't supercharge it. So it hits on a 2. Oh, it hit. Wounds on a 2 because it's strength 7, even not supercharged. Yes, it does.
So that will kill one of them.
I mean, I'll roll his charge roll. Oh, 10, that'll do. Obviously he makes it in, he'll just go straight into their faces. I'll roll for his attacks with his Exalted Chain Blade first. So it'll be 7 attacks hitting on 2s. They all hit. And then their strength 6 against toughness 3, so they'll be wounding on 2s as well. That'll be 7 wounds, and these are -1 AP. So 2 damage, but neophytes don't care about that.
6s. Well, 1 actually, but yeah, that's enough to wipe the squad. So those puny neophytes are swept aside. And we move on to stage 2, which is 2 aberrants. So 2 aberrants have appeared 6 inches away at the end of my movement phase, and I guess they'll charge. They get a 9, so they're in. So the aberrants are just going to crash into the Lord on Juggernaut. They have 6 attacks hitting on 3s, getting 4 hits. Strength 8, so wounding on 3s. That's 3 wounds at -2.
So he'll have a 4+ armour or invulnerable save either way. I only made 1 of them.
So that's 3 damage each.
He's down to 1 wound.
But now he'll get to hit back.
We'll do the Chain Blade again, so 7 attacks on 2s. 7 hits, wounding on 4s because the aberrants are tough at 6. 3 wounds at -1.
6 up armour. Oh, made 2, so that's only 2 damage, so this one is down to 1 wound.
And then 4 attacks with the extra attacks from the Juggernaut's Bladed Horn. And it didn't charge, so the Lance rule won't come into effect, but extra attacks obviously just means it can attack. These hit on 3s, well they do. Otherwise they're the same, so 4s, 2 wounds at -1 as well.
Failed both of those, so 1 dies and 1 is down to a wound. So now it's the Lord on Juggernaut's turn, so he doesn't get to shoot with his plasma pistol before the aberrant fights.
And supercharging it won't help against its stats, and it's got 1 wound left. It hit, wounds on a 3, yes, -2.
So that goes straight through and kills it.
So it's unfortunate that I actually killed that aberrant in my turn, because that means it's basically the end of my turn. Would have rather killed it in the aberrant's turn so I could then move away, because now the next stage has arrived in their own movement phase 6 inches away.
Yeah, so it's 2 more aberrant and the Magus. The Magus might as well shoot with their pistol. Oh, it hits, but it wounds on a 6. Nope. Then we'll go to the charge phase, we'll do the aberrants. They get in, and the Magus as well. A 9 will probably be enough to get her in as well. So all 3 of them get in. Do the aberrants first, 6 attacks on 3s, getting 4 hits once again. Wounded on 3s, that's 3 wounds.
4s again. Oh, failed all 3 of them.
Oh, that's definitely enough to kill him. So that was a pretty disappointing start. I think he only got 7 points. But we'll set up again and see if we can do better next time. So here I'll set up again. We'll just use the same neophytes because I really don't think it's going to make much difference what neophytes are there. And we'll let the Lord go first again as we head into stage 1.
Here we just go straight into their face again and then shoot the plasma pistol. Oh, it missed. I wasn't going to supercharge it. And then charge. Oh, yeah. So his Chain Blade again, 7 attacks. Only 6 hits this time. Winning on 2s. And 5 wounds at -1.
6 is save, or 1's still alive.
Well, I will have to roll the Juggernaut then. 4 attacks on 3s. Only manages 1 hit. It's winning on a 2 anyway, but the Lance technically gives it +1. Nearly a 1, but it went through.
It kills the last neophyte. We're on to stage 2, where 2 aberrants have appeared, and they're just going to charge. So the aberrants charge is a 6, which is just enough to get them in. So they're just about in again. 6 attacks on 3s. Oh, they all hit this time. Wounding on 3s. They all wound this time.
6 saves. He only failed 2, so he isn't dead. So here's 7 attacks. 5 hits. Wounding on 4s. Well, 4 wounds though.
6 is to save. Doesn't make any of them, so they're all dead. And then we're into stage 3, and it's actually the Lord on Juggernaut's turn now. So before the enemies appear, he can choose to move.
So he's retreated a little bit to get a little bit of ground. Not going right into the corner though, because what I didn't want was for the aberrants to then not be able to make a charge and so deploy far too far away.
So it is a very long charge for those aberrants, but they might as well try. 6 isn't going to be enough. And we're back into the Lord Juggernaut's turn.
So we'll go straight up to the aberrants and I'll shoot the pistol at them as well. Not supercharged. It hit. Wounds on a 3. Yes, -2.
Takes one down to 2 wounds.
And his charge roll, he'll charge just them. There he's in. And I'll go around the back of them, just to get a bit closer to the Magus. And then 7 attacks from his chain blade. 5 hits wounding on 4s. 2.
6s, save 1, but that is enough to kill one of them.
Yeah, because I did that one wound with the pistol. And then the Juggernaut on 3s. 3 hits. But this will be wounding on 3s because of the +1 from Lance. Which helped, get 2 wounds.
6s again, fail both, so it's both aberrants dead.
And I will consolidate into the Magus, it will let her attack for free, but if it goes on to the opposition turn, she'll get to charge and fight before the Lord anyway.
So she has 3 attacks on 3s, getting 1 hit. Strength 5, so it wounds on a 5. Oh, it does, -1.
3+, he's fine.
So then in the Magus's turn, she might as well stay in combat, because she runs away, she can't shoot, and then he'll just charge her. She gets a shot with her pistol, it hits, and it wounds on a 6, which it doesn't. Then in the fight phase, the Lord gets to go first.
So 7 attacks on 2s, 5 hits wounding on 2s, only 3 at -1.
6 is to save, didn't make any, she's dead. So we're on to stage 4, which is 5 Cadian shock troops. And again, I rolled randomly, and I got 3 with las guns, the plasma gun, and the grenade launcher, which is quite unfortunate for the Lord Juggernaut, potentially. And they've appeared, so they'll get to shoot. Now, we won't supercharge the plasma gun, and we'll do a crack grenade from the grenade launcher. So, plasma gun, 2 shots on 4s, hits twice. Wounds on 3s, doesn't wound. Crack grenade, missed. Las guns on 4s. 3 hits wounding on 6s, nothing. Well, the Juggernaut's going to come thundering in.
No need to supercharge, hit, wounds on a 2, no it didn't. Then a charge, yeah he's in. Chain blade on 2s, 7 hits wounding on 2s, only 5.
6 is to save, they're all dead. So we're on to stage 5, where there is a Cadian command squad. I'm not sure they'll last much longer than the Cadian shock troops, but they do at least get to shoot when they appear. So we've got a plasma pistol that hits on a 4. It does. And it wounds on a 3. It does not. And a bolt pistol misses. And 6 las gun shots on 4s, getting 2. And 6s, nothing. And it's going to be a long charge, but they might as well try. No, not with the 3.
No surprise what Lord on Juggernaut's going to do. We'll shoot plasma pistol on the way in. Oh, it missed. And he, crashing straight into them. Chain blade on 2s. 6 hits wounding on 2s. 6 wounds.
6 plus saves. We made 2.
And these are 2 damage each.
So I'll do these 2 at a time for the medic. So first one, that guy's dead. And the next one, that guy is dead. On the officer, saved one, so he's down to 2, and he has to go again. Then the officer dies. So you've got the medic and the veteran with the power fist.
And I got the Juggernaut on 3s, only 2 hits, 2s to wound, it does.
6 is to save, nope. So the medic will try and heal himself, he dies, and then the veteran with the power fist dies as well. So we're on to wave 6, which is 3 Infernus Marines, who again appear just under 12 away, so they can all try and roast the Lord on Juggernaut. 3d6 automatic hits. 12 hits, wounding on 5s. 5 wounds, that's above average.
2+ saves. Oh, he's okay. Well, nothing unexpected here. We will supercharge the plasma pistol this time though, because 2 damage will kill one in outright. So that hits on a 2. Yep, it wounds on a 2 because the strength 8. Fine anyway, -3 with this as well.
6 up armour. Nope,
oh, I just killed one. Is it hazardous? He's not. And then obviously he's going to charge. Chain blade. 6 hits winning on 3s now. Only 3. -1 though.
4 up armour. Save 2. Got 1 marine left.
Juggernaut. 3 hits. Wounding on 2s because of the +1, so that does mean 3 wounds.
Ooh, almost made it. So we're on to stage 7, which is 2 Terminators. So they're going to appear. 4 shots with Stormbolters on 3s, only getting 1. It's actually 8 shots with Stormbolters, so I'll roll 4 more. So we'll get 4 hits in total. Wounding on 5s. Ooh, 2 wounds.
2s, yes.
And then they're going to charge. 6 probably isn't going to be enough, I don't think. 6 isn't enough, so we'll be on to the Lord on Juggernaut's turn.
So he makes it over there. This time I will not supercharge the plasma because against a 4+ invulnerable save, toughness 5 and 3 wounds each, there's no benefit to the extra damage or strength or AB. So a 2, no, we missed anyway. So then obviously he makes a charge and he's got 7 attacks with his chain blade, 7 hits, winning on 3s against Terminators, ooh, 6 wounds.
6 3-up saves, failed 3, so that's enough to kill 1 Terminator and wound the other.
And the Juggernaut gets 4 hits and we're wounding on 2s because of the lance. Well, still managed 2 1s, so
3-up again, fail 1, so that's both Terminators dead. So that means we're on to stage 8, which is the Space Marine Captain. Again, he'll appear just over 6 inches away and shoot before he charges. 4 shots on 2s, they all hit, wounding on 5s, 2 wounds again.
2s to save, made them.
Charge from the Captain, he's in with an 8. Captain gets in, 6 attacks on 2s, getting 5 hits. Only wounding on 5s though, so he doesn't get any.
So the Lord can attack back, obviously not going to benefit of Lance. And he manages to miss 3 times with the chain blade, and I'm going to roll the Juggernaut's attacks as well, getting only 1, so it's 5 hits in total because these are now all the same. Wounding on 3s, 4 wounds at -1.
3-up save, failed 2, so he's down to 2 wounds. Well, then it's the Lord Juggernaut's turn, so he'll get to fire his pistol before the Captain.
Hey, we'll supercharge it because it's 2 damage. He missed again. Is it hazardous? No.
Captain has 6 attacks on 2s, getting 5 again. Wounding on 5s, he gets 3 this time.
These are -2, so I need to make all of these saves. Oh, he did! 6 hits with the chain blade, and then I'll just do the same with the Juggernaut. So 8 hits total, which wound on 3s. 5 wounds.
5 3-up saves, made them all. So now it's the Captain's turn. He can't shoot in melee, so the Juggernaut gets to go again.
So we'll do that again. 5 hits with the chain blade, and 2 with the Juggernaut. Getting 7 wounds.
7 3-ups. Oh, there we go. He's failed 4, so he's definitely dead. With that, the Lord on Juggernaut finishes the last wave and has definitely maxed out his possible score. So I think we'll leave it there and we'll recap this game for you now. So that was our game for issue 82 of Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol magazine. How do you think that went?
Well, obviously the first one went terribly, and the second one I thought was going to go the same way, but then somehow he just didn't fail a save and managed to kill everything. You, I think, didn't roll to wound very well with plasma guns and things, which probably helped slightly. I guess it goes to show that he's actually really quite good in melee, because he managed to carve his way through basically everything.
Yeah, going by this scenario, I think the Aberrants are very early and very dangerous, because they do 3 damage each, so there's a good chance I'll just crump him.
The fact that it's 2 Aberrants and then 2 Aberrants and the Magus, I'm not really sure what the Magus is supposed to do. She might get lucky with her stick, I suppose, but having effectively 4 Aberrants, all of whom are likely to get a chance to charge before the Lord can do anything about them.
And they're tough enough that he might not hurt them, but if you can get over that hurdle, I don't think anything else really threatens him until the Terminators. There might be a lot of wounds coming in, but it's all going to be no AP, and I did roll randomly for the Guardsmen. If there's an equal chance, it could just been 5 guys with las guns, and they would have had no hope. So, I mean, it is a pretty good showing of him. He's a Wild Eater's character, so he's an absolute beast in melee, and he's pretty fast, so it's quite easy to get the charge of him. He's probably the most powerful character in melee of the collection.
His only real downside is he's only AP -1, so he's going to struggle a bit more against some of the higher armour characters. He did fine against the Captain, but I think the Captain was unlucky not to wound him at all. He will probably still beat the Captain on average, just because of sheer number of attacks and his own high toughness, meaning the Captain can't hurt him so easily.
And he's got more wounds as well.
Yeah, and like all of the characters, he is very powerful, but you still wouldn't charge him into the full unit of Aberrants or the full unit of Terminators or whatever without support, nor is he going to be any good against the Hellbrute or the Death Dread or anything.
But he's definitely not going to have the problem the War Boss has, where he'll get bogged down in big units, because he's got so many attacks.
Yeah, I mean, he theoretically has enough attacks to kill an entire squad of shock troops or neophytes in 1 round of melee. He's unlikely to do that statistically, but he can at least completely maul them. He'll take on anything up to a heavy unit, so I wouldn't worry too much about him fighting Legionaries or the Infernus Marines or the Havocs or something in melee. He's not going to have any trouble with that, and he's fast enough to be able to get to units and attack them. them. Obviously, we'll have to see him in context in the rest of the patrol. He can't join the units of Khorne Berserkers, of which we get 2, so he is going to be running around by himself, but unlike the War Boss, he's not super slow, so he's going to be able to actually go places and do things, and unlike the Tyranid Prime, he's not very squishy.
Also, in a full game, he'd have more buffs from the Blessings of Khorne, but we'll have to wait to see that.
Yeah, he obviously has no special rules himself, but he's just a bit of a beast.
Yeah, I think none of the World Eaters units actually have any special rules, just because you actually get quite a lot of them, and they're individually so good, well, most of them anyway, so... And it is a really cool model, although I think you actually have differed from the build guide. You have the alternate Juggernaut.
Yeah, because you can make Lord Invocators with it as well, and you can put magnets in the legs, you can make it so the characters are changeable, so I can swap him out for Lord Invocators, and I use Lord Invocators as Juggernaut parts, most of them anyway, so he looks correct when I'm using Lord Invocators, because there are enough parts you can actually make a second different looking Juggernaut and effectively a second Chaos Lord with a different weapon. He obviously has the pointing plasma pistol option and the helmet, so you can effectively get 3 different models out of the same kit, which is pretty good.
Yeah, for a unit that would normally be monopose.
And he's fairly good value for money as well. He's over 2 issues, but the model itself is reasonably expensive because it's quite a large character model. And again, because you can make several models out of it, if you're building a World Eaters army, these 2 issues are a good option for getting more characters. Actually, that will be probably a theme with the World Eaters Combat Patrol in general, is it's just a good way to bulk out a World Eaters force.
But yeah, obviously we'll talk about the other units as they come, but otherwise I think there's too much more to say about this game or this issue, so as always, if you like this content, do leave a like and subscribe, and we're in the home stretch now. We'll finish this up. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.